Yo, what's good, everybody? If you are tired of lighting your Solana on fire, then you need to check out this high volume strategy that I'm going to be giving you right now. Where is this volume exactly? Where are we going to find these coins? Well, firstly, it's not going to be on new pairs, it's not going to be on final stretch, and it's not going to be on migrated. We're actually going to be going to the Discover tab on Axiom. Now, if you need a good trading platform, you're going to need to download Axiom because it is by far the best trading platform right now on the market. You get 30% back on fees, also plus like 15% discount with fees with my link. So make sure you do that, as well as join the Discord, because if you do sign up with my link, I'm going to be doing giveaways for people that are trading on my link. So you get paid to trade on Memecoins. So it doesn't matter whether you win or lose or break even, as long as you're trading on the link, then you can qualify for giveaways, right? Anywhere from 0.5 SOL, 0.3 SOL, up to 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 SOL. Doesn't even matter, right? As long as you have a lot of volume, then you're going to be entered in the giveaway. Now, how are we going to be able to find these coins? So we're going to go to the Discover tab, okay? Now, there is a lot of random coins on here that we can see. Now, what we're going to do exactly is we're going to be filtering them, okay, to our liking. So there is a lot of different things that we're going to do here. Now, you're going to be able to watch this. And if you want to be super simple, I'm going to export all these into my Discord. So all you got to do is go copy and paste, and you can import them, right? Now, first, you still need to watch this, right? Don't just skip it, because I know you guys are trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? You need to know why I'm putting these filters so that you know exactly why they work, right? Not only that, to know exactly what kind of coins you're going to be getting. Because if you don't know anything, you just go, like the zombie, then you're going to get cooked. So why am I going to do these filters? Well, firstly, I do not want top 10 holders over 50%. So the max is going to be 50%, right? Maybe 40%, I'm just saying, like, it. Sometimes some coins, it really depends. But I'm just going to put the max at 50%. Now, the max for insider holding, 50%. The max for bundlers, 50%. The max for dev holding, you do not want a dev that's holding more than, even 5%, guys. Like, bro, we do not want no devs that are holding that much. And then holder count, actually, we're not gonna do 50 for max holder count. Now, for metrics, okay, liquidity, it depends, right? Now, we obviously want liquidity, duh, right? But there's tons of different liquidity in different coins, so it doesn't really matter. Volume, though, this is very important. We want around, I want to say 100,000 minimum. 100,000 minimum, all right? Now, the market cap, it doesn't really matter. We just want to see volume, right? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to apply these filters. And you can also choose which platform, right? I kind of want to see all platforms, because I want to see what coins are being launched everywhere, right? Because sometimes platforms do kind of pick up. They go asleep, and then they start coming back up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Bags, not many people are launching on there. They have really good fees, but out of nowhere, then people start launching on there, right? Same with Moonshot, same with Believe, right? Like, some days, like, people forget about Believe, and then a bunch of coins start getting launched. So I kind of like to see everything that's running, to kind of see also the narrative, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do apply all, and I'm going to see all the different filters that I have on right now. Okay, so with this strategy, what we're trying to find is coins that are on really relatively big dips, right? I want to say anywhere from 40 to 60%, right? Because if it's more than 60%, then it's most likely either dead or it was a rug pull, okay? Now, if the dip is less than 40%, then it's most likely not even the real dip yet, because you guys have all seen coins just keep dipping and dipping and dipping. So you need to be able to make sure that you're getting into a good entry, okay? So what we're going to be looking at is, first of all, this top one, right? The anti-meme coin. So this coin went all the way from migration around 82, right? This looks like it's a bonk coin, and we can even look at the community, right? Now, it looks like they did pay DEX. So with this, what I'm seeing is it's holding around this 30K level, right? Around 25, 30K. Now, this is probably a decent spot to be bidding it, right? Because you look at this, it went all the way down from migration, which is around 70, 80. Let me draw this line here. Straighten it out. Perfect. Right? It went all the way down from migration, right? From 82. Would you want to be bidding this, right? Typically around that 20 to 30K range, right? you could take it around 40. It just really depends, right? When it comes down this much, this is like the golden zone to where the balance between sellers and buyers is going to be, way greater, right? Because all the sellers have been shaken out all the way down here, right? Because what you could see is this was finally starting to stable out. If you notice before, it was really just like up and down, swinging, just tons and tons of crazy, volume and stuff. Now it's starting to finally slow down a little bit, pick up a little bit of pace, right? And this is where you're looking for an entry, right? In this little zone. Because typically most coins, if they are not pure rugs, right? Which I'm going to show you how to, it's pretty simple, right? To know if it's not a pure rug, but I'll show you how to understand that, right? They will have a bounce, right? Because it's just like, it's just like breathing. If you're like, eventually, right, you're going to exhale, right? Now, obviously, yes, coins can come on pretty big dips. And you need to be entering them strategically, right? Now, if you're DCAing into this zone, right, you could have even put one soul here. You could have put one soul at like 22, and you could have put one soul at 20. You could have put limit orders, right? You could have gone buy, limit. You could have put one right here for 0.5 if you want. You could do another one, boom, boom, right? That way you can average cost into your entry, right? Now, we need to see if this meme's actually good, blah, 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 right? So this is what we're going to do. So the anti-meme coin, there are no memes. This is a serious investment. Now we're looking, almost 50 people in the community already, and you're telling me this can't reverse back to 70. This guy's being bullish. Let's see if he's got 5,000 followers, right? So this is actually pretty good, considering, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy has possible motion. If he really wanted to push it, he could even push it maybe if he has a Telegram group, right? You want to see if, not just, it doesn't have to be relatively big influencers or whatever, but that's typically a good sign, right? This guy's being bullish. He was here even 4 minutes ago, right? So there is a big likelihood that this could have a bounce, right? Off of the floor. You could see it's really like not that hard, guys. I'm being so for real. Like you could see this is a floor, okay? You could see this is definitely not a floor. These are spikes in volume. These are spikes pumping up. This is casino buying with copy traders, right? This is the price nuking, right? This is the price trying to come back up to its all-time high where it rejected 3 times in a row, okay? I'm just showing you basic things, or not relatively super basic, but kind of like the groundwork of some technical analysis, right? It doesn't have to be insane, but I'm just showing you how to look at these coins, right? You don't have to draw lines. Lines don't really mean that much, right? But it's a way to help you visualize how these coins kind of work, right? If a coin comes up to the same spot 3 times up to here to try to break a new all-time high, and it doesn't do it, it's going to have some real hard sell pressure because people are like, okay, this is an 80K topper. It cannot break past it. And everybody's going to panic sell the coin, right? So like I said, 40 to 60% dips. Where would have your entry have been? Well, look at how beautiful, right? I said 40 to 60%. You could have got in, like say 83, and you get in at 40. Look at that, right? You could have got in right here and scalped it all the way back up to 60. So that's 50%, all right? You could have made 50% on your one soul, 50%, and you could have made 0.5 Solanas, okay? So if you do like 10 of those trades a day, you're making 5 sol a day, okay? Look at how beautifully I called this bottom, okay? This is just by, first of all, intuition, by seeing the chart so many times, right? The meme is good, right? And it doesn't seem like it's been done before, which is another good thing. You guys don't want to be trading copycat coins. The DEX is paid, so people have gone out of their way to pay DEX, right? The holder distribution looks pretty decent. And look at that. You would have been basically up 2x from where I called it, right? Now, if you guys want good calls like this, or just want to trade with good players, good people, then you're going to want to join my free Discord trading community in the link in the description, because we're always calling out coins in there before they pump. We're scanning like crazy 24/7. Doesn't matter whether you live in London, whether you live in the USA, whether you live in China, whether you live in India, Canada, Australia, it does not matter, okay? There is people throughout the whole entire world trading, okay? And there is so many cool people in this space, lots of cool people in the server. So you need to be trading with the community, okay? Because this is where you're gonna be able to find coins like this. And also, not only that, you're gonna be able to have people find things that you don't see, right? If you think the coin's good, but they might see something bad about it, this is what you need to be knowing, okay? This is a juicy entry right here, right? What are you risking, right? If the coin consolidates forever, right? This is like worst case scenario. You start seeing the coin start to floor, right? Like this. Goes up a little bit, goes back down, keeps flooring, and then it eventually starts dying out. Then boom, you can put your stop loss right here. So you lose like 10, 15%, right? What is that 10 to 15% when you'd be up like 2x, more than 2x, right? You could be up like 2.5x right now. So this is like insane alpha, right? These filters are super good, right? And trust me, this is not the only coin, right? I'm just showing you a demonstration on how you're gonna be trading, right? You need to wait for real dips, right? You need to be looking at holders. You need to make sure that they're real, right? These are good holders, 16 Sol, 17 Sol, 111 Sol. Like these are real people. This guy was funded from Coinbase 3 days ago. Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com. Binance. So there's tons of different, exchanges and whatever that they were funded from, right? Now, it's your determination to think, okay, is this coin like a 100K runner, right? If it makes it, if it's possible that this coin comes back up, you have to remember this resistance, right? I'm going to draw it a little bit further. It's going to be pretty strong, right? And you could even tell there is one at that kind of migration, sort of close to migration area at around 60, right? So if it can break past this area, oh my goodness, my line. Okay. If it can break, what did I do with that line? Okay. If it can break past this like general area right here, then it's going to be in more of a range back up here. And then it can come and try to test this 85, 80K level. If it's able to break that, then it's going to have a new all-time high and it's probably going to fly, right? Now, that's your choice. Do you want to scalp this from here, from right here to like right here, right? You might not ideally sell the top. That's kind of why I wrote right there. That's still a 2x, okay? Or do you think this is, 150K sender, right? Where you can sell up here in the future, right? That's your decision. Now, I personally like to consistently stack profits. I like to scalp. If you're a swing trader, you're going to be holding a lot longer, right? Even scalpers would scalp from even right here, right? I could even scalp from right here to right here, right? And then buy this dip, scalp right here to right here. And then if you're a swing trader, you'd buy right here and you'd try to hold it all the way to like here. You'd sell 50%. And look at that. It actually looks like it could come back up and break this level. If it's able to break this level, it's looking a little bit more promising. Now, let's see if I still got my filter set on here. Let me refresh. And let's see, it looks like the filters are still on. So let's look at some other coins. Let's look at trending. And we're on the 30-minute. Let's look at this Chase coin from 6 minutes ago on Bonk. And yeah, it looks like this went all the way from 93 all the way down to 40. So what we're going to wait is maybe for it to floor out a little bit, right? And technically that does look like a decent entry. You could buy around like 1 Sol right here, right? And you could DCA into this position. You could have bought, like say on that dip, right here. And you can kind of DCA into this position, right? You want to see this hold. If this is struggling to hold, then it's going to have a little bit of a hard time, right? We can see this coin, it had support around here at the same kind of level. So you're going to want to see, right? It's kind of struggling to hold. So if it starts closing a little bit below this, then, I'm basically drawing the line for you guys to be able to visualize it. You don't need to draw lines at all. Like it doesn't really mean anything. It looks like Casino just bought in this, which is probably a good sign. That is probably going to go up a bit more. But yeah, it's really just looking for entries, looking for big dips, right? When all the sellers are basically tired, right? They're tired of selling, or the balance between buyers and sellers. The buyers are most likely going to be outpacing the sellers, but they're only going to do that if the coin or narrative is good, right? So we can see Chase, it's a dog, obviously. Social media manager, face reveal, representing Bonk Inu, buddies for pause. Now Dex isn't paid like this one, right? And look at this. Wow, it broke its level, like I said, and it's now going crazy. This is the key to break this, right? It needs to break a nice juicy candle right above here. If it's able to do that, then this coin is probably going to do pretty well, right? So watch it carefully. It's possible that it could range in here. And yeah, if it tries to break again and it fails, like say over here, then it's probably going to come down pretty hard. But if it's able to break a nice candle, right, like that, then this coin is going to be doing pretty well. We can see it just closed higher. So it's most likely going to do pretty decent, right? Now, let me go back to this Chase coin. Now, this is where, if it's coming down like this is where I'm kind of being a little bit more skeptical, right? Because it's not really showing too much strength, what you want to see, right? Now, the thing is, Casino, it looks like he's DCing into his entry, but at least it seems like it's flooring out a little bit more than it was just completely nuking here, right? So this is where you need to be managing your risk and being like, okay, I could maybe DCA once here where I bought on this line at like 40K, and I could have bought around 30K, right? And this is the only times I'm going to DCA. So if it keeps going down, I'm just going to take my losses and sell, okay? So you could buy within this range, here to here, okay? And it looks like Cooker bought with 5 Sol, so that's pretty good sign. I don't know why my charts are glitched right now. I think it's with the new Axiom update. They're working with the UI. But yeah, so also if you guys need to fix your Axiom like on the update, all you got to do is for your wallets, go to like wallet tracker, tap on main, and groups, tap on main, and it will show you all your wallets. So what do I not like about this? Well, Casino just nuked the chart. So after that, I probably would have wanted to get out. It might go up, it might go down. It's just typically like, if you have a KOL in the coin, he could be promoting this on this Twitter. That's why people are trying to anticipate it, which could be a good sign, right? Now, if he full clips the chart like that, he might know something that we don't, right? So you have to kind of be doing research. Also, if you guys notice that the DEX is not paid, so that's a good thing to watch out for, right? Now, it looks like this is still, it went up to 100K, and it's going to go up and try to test that range. So already from the floors, right, like at 25K, you would have been up 4x. So these are like the kind of tokens that are really, really, really cool to be looking out for. We could look at this SWC coin, and this went all the way from, it looks like migration up to 90, some candles. And now it's kind of starting to find a little bit of a floor at 38. X is paid as well. So you might want to maybe start looking to bid it, right? Maybe not here, maybe at around 30 or even 25, right? Wait for it to start flooring out. It does look like it's kind of flooring out, but you want it to start seeing like a little bit of an uptrend, right? Because that's when the volume starts to be coming like this. And then you start seeing those big candles that go upwards, right? Now, the reason why I'm giving you guys this strategy, right, is because obviously there is still money to be made in new pairs, obviously in Final Stretch and migrated, right? But a lot of people aren't taking advantage of this Discover tab, and even I wasn't, right? Because nobody even thinks about it. But until I was seeing the kind of coins that you're able to find on here, right? Because look at how consistent and high the spikes in volume here are, right? Versus we could look at like some random coin right here, right? The volume's like all right? But over here, it's like very, very, very consistent, right? We did have a little bit of volume die down here, but very, very, very consistent, right? So this is a super, super good strategy, and it's a lot more mellow pace if you like to kind of sit in your trades for a little bit longer, 10, 15, 20 minutes instead of just completely blasting in new pairs. It's basically like the Final Stretch strategy, but a lot of these coins are like post-migration coins that are after, they went through their migration dip. They either had a pump after and now they're coming back down, right? Or they bonded and they're going through their migration dip, right? Because some of them have a migration dip like this, but they don't have like a real deep dip where everybody freaks out. You've seen those coins that go down to 8K and they start coming back up, right? So that's what I'm talking about. You're waiting for a real big dip in the coin, right? Something that's like this. Let me see if I can draw that line. Perfect. Something that's like this. Something that's like this, right? You're waiting for that actual dip, right? Not just the tiny dip in the short term, right? And then you're starting to bid these lows, right? Where it's starting to floor out. And there needs to be interest in the coin, because if nobody cares about the coin anymore, then why are you buying it, right? But if people are still posting in the communities, right? Like the guy was being bullish, like I was showing you, the DEX is paid, of course. then the only thing is the token is undervalued. So you're buying undervalued and you're gonna sell when it's overvalued, right? So you could have sold at 100K. Sure, you could have sold the perfect top, or you could have sold here. Nobody knows exactly where they're gonna sell, right? Now you want to have an exit plan, of course, right? Now, for trading on final stretch, it's basically the same, right? It's just I've noticed there is a lot of farms, right? And coins don't get this far if they are complete farms, right? They'll typically just farm right after migration and do the thing, right? You could see this coin didn't really break 100K, so now it's starting to kind of come down and try to find, you know, a support, something to support on, and that's where you're going to want to be bidding if you like the coin. If you think this is a 200K runner, right? You have to have a thesis. You have to know what you're buying before you buy it. If you can't explain what you're buying, then there's no point of buying it. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to break down this super good and really cool Discover tab feature, as well as a strategy that you can use from it, right? Because like you don't see anybody talking about, you know, using these filters. Not only that, even using Discover, not even me, right? I was like really kind of like just nobody thought about it, right? Nobody even mentions Discover tab, but it does have some pretty good alpha in there, right? Pretty good coins as long as you can set your filters right. So if you guys want all the top wallets that I track for free, right? This is all the top wallets on chain, not just KOLs, right? But like tons of really good wallets that, you know, not really that many people are tracking. I have them tracked, right? I've been able to track down some of their wallets, as well as a free Twitter tracker, right? You're going to need Axiom, which is for free in the link in the description, right? So remember to enter that because you're going to be entered in free Solana giveaways. Now, yeah, so free Twitter tracker as well as the list in the description in the Discord. So yeah, if you guys have any questions on any other videos I should touch up on, or even about this video, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.